everyone, it's Kristen Redmond, and today we're going to go over those planetary aspects that are surrounding us and affecting us for this week, July 4th through the 10th. And you know, every week when I start getting my readings around, what I do is I kind of look at everything and I meditate on things, and I think of what the common link is that the universe, the angels, and God are trying to communicate to us, okay, for the commonality of the week. And it's interesting because this week, it's not so much an astrological term that they're getting through to me. It's more of a numerology term that's coming through. And the number that is the common link of the week is 4. Okay. How cool is that, right? That we're starting out the week, July 4th. Okay, right? That's like one of the first 4s here that comes up. But it's also the 240th birthday of America. This is 240 years since America was founded and born. And so I look up the meaning of the number 240. Okay, what does that mean? And it tells us that we need to step up our responsibilities as the light workers that we are, the natural healers and mystics, intuitives, and to utilize those natural skills that we have to shed light, love, and healing to our fellow man and to ourselves. But also in this instance, because it's 240 years for our country, to shed that light, love, and healing of our own specific, special purpose for our country, okay? We have to start giving back to our country, but by being our genuine self. It's about honoring our deepest, irrational, and most intimate of feelings is what 240 represents. And a lot of that comes from being confident to be who you really truly are and confident in those abilities that you've been given. Okay, so what an interesting, cool anniversary that we've got on this July 4th, 240 years later, on the night of the Cancer new moon. And so here we are. I pull all this together into this numerology aspect, okay? The number I see this week is 4, okay? That's the common thread that links through every single thing that's going on astrologically for us this week. And 4 in numerology represents like the 4 legs of a table or the 4 walls of a building. They represent the foundation and the structure that it gives to a certain object, okay? Now, for us, in terms of life, when you apply it to human life, what is the foundation and the structure for us? It's going to be our early childhood. It's going to represent our family. It's going to represent our immediate environment, our home. And 4 also takes on the energy of mother. So it's going to be our mother, ourselves as a mother in this world, but also our ability to nurture like a mother, to nurture ourselves, and to nurture the people in our environment and the ones we love, but most especially our family. But just the ability, when you pare it down to the give and take energy, which is like the universal energy right there, right, that comes through all of our heart centers, which also just so happens to be the 4th chakra, the 4th center, because they all embody this number 4. Now, in astrology, the 4th house carries those same energies, okay? The 4th house represents our family, our home, our mother, our nurturing capabilities, our ability to give and receive unconditional love. That is what the 4th house represents there. And it's naturally ruled by the sign of Cancer, okay? That's exactly where our sun is at. And tonight, as the sun aligns with the moon in the new moon phase, which represents new beginnings now, when it aligns, they both are in the sign of Cancer, okay? Cancer carries those same qualities as the number 4, the number 4 house. Cancers are so concerned about their families. They are deeply emotionally connected to their roots, to their families, to their childhoods. They're going to be very nostalgic about their childhoods. They're going to be focused on making sure that there is stability and structure in their homes, that there is a secure foundation so their families can grow and thrive, and in turn do that for their families and the next generations that go on. Okay? Cancers are amazing family people. And they usually want to have a family pretty early. They want to start right out the gate having children right away and having a family because they need to nurture to feel emotionally insecure, to feel secure, you know. So Tonight, we have that new moon that's going on with all of this amazing four energy. Okay, like I said, the new moon represents new beginnings. Okay, it's like when a glass is empty, you can fill it up with anything you want. And tonight, what we fill it up with is all of the issues that we have found that surround the four in our life, right? What are those issues that we want to see change and new beginnings happen to with our family, with our mother, with our home, with our immediate environment? And then you also look at it too in another sense. What other types of homes and immediate environments do we have? Our soul, our life force is contained in this little vehicle we got right here in home, its own little crab shell like in Cancer. How are we taking care of our body too? What new beginnings do we want for our diet or for our body to better our health, to better this vehicle so we can do what our life purpose is? And that is kind of what I combine these two with the 240th birthday of the independence of America, that liberation. This is what we're celebrating, right? The liberation from moving from Mother England, right, and starting a new structure and stability and new foundation here in America. It's almost kind of like we take on those energies today with that, with the new moon, bringing in these new beginnings. Um, this is the time when we really recognize how to adjust the boundaries that we have set with ourselves and others too, because four kind of represents like a fenced in area too. How do we set those walls up for others to come in? Do we make it easily accessible? Do we not? The new moon kind of brings light to that, especially on Wednesday too, because Mercury is going to be aligning with that Cancer sun. Okay, the light that's shining on all of these issues. Okay, Mercury represents the planet of thought. Sorry, I'm looking at my little child there trying to come outside right now. It represents the planet of thought. So come Wednesday, our thoughts are very much so going to be on changing these structures of our parameters, the boundaries that we set, what we allow in and out of the fence that's around our heart center, okay, right here where we give and receive that universal love. Now keep in mind that when we are out of whack, right, if we're giving too much, we can't receive. If we're receiving too much and not giving, that throws the balance off also. So this is a time, especially when Mercury is going to be aligned with the sun on Wednesday, to really bring focus to, I guess, where we have cracks in those foundations, right, and how to shore them back up. And what's interesting is when Mercury and Earth, or Mercury and the sun are aligned, that's the time when Mercury is the furthest point from the Earth, the furthest it can possibly get. So it's interesting that it's almost like Mercury being that far away, representing our thought process, it's giving us a chance to like get a bird's eye view of our life and objectively see where those cracks are and how to fix them, okay? And then it's really super cool because in the week, it keeps building this momentum up of new change, right? Then at the end of the week, on Friday, Pluto is going to be in strong opposition to all of this energy with the new moon, the sun, and Mercury. Thoughts on all of this. It's bringing all of these past issues up with our family, with our structures, childhood issues that carry into life now that create blocks, even still for us. That is what's going to come into focus massively at the end of the week. Okay, man, the wind picked up. I guess the wind is agreeing with me here. It is. This is going to be a time when Pluto represents transformation and change. So it's guaranteeing that there can be change. If you are willing to stick with it and muscle through and change it, you will be successful doing it. But what it's going to do is really bring light to the power struggles that ensue in your life that deal with these parameters and walls that we build up, right? Pluto is all about transforming and breaking down those power struggles. Mercury is going to help us recognize it from a different vantage point. What is it we do that creates these power struggles? Are we being the aggressor, or are we being the one that is too passive and doesn't stand up for ourselves? It's that give and take, right? The giving and the receiving. And when it's out of whack, we're out of whack. We're out of balance. And that's where that focus is going to be, that chance to really analyze our motives, right? Where are we coming from? And also analyze the motives of others. And where it all is going to come down to is how that love and emotion is being given and received in our relationships that make that foundation right and make us feel secure in our home and with the ones that we love. So it's a really amazing week to focus on those things, and also how we play our part, that key to this whole thing here that creates these struggles. Can it be something that's rooted in self-esteem issues for ourselves or for the other person? Maybe there's control issues that they have that they need to realize, or maybe you need to realize. So let's focus on that for this week, okay? And a lot of that has come to light. Okay, we've had a lot of retrograde planets, happening over the past few months, and some of them are finally letting up and going direct, especially with Mars last week going direct, giving us our energy back, luckily, and our drive and motivation to get going on our task. But there's been so many retrograde planets that have been forcing us to look back into the past at all of these issues. And a lot of it comes to a head this week. And Cancer is that water sign that accepts and loves and forgives. It's that water sign that washes the slate clean. Literally, look at it like that. Water washing everything clean and purifying it. So this is the opportunity we get to really change that, especially those things with our families, okay? It's an amazing thing. This moon especially is going to affect our Cancer friends, okay? It's going to affect anybody that has a Cancer major influence in their chart. That's going to be your moon or your ascendant. This week is going to be very, very, very important for those that also have those Mercury influences in their life. So that's going to be people that have a lot of Virgo in their charts, a lot of Gemini in their charts as well. And this is also going to be a majorly new transformative week, starting a new beginnings for our Scorpion friends, okay? Lots of transformations for you because Pluto's your ruling planet too. So you're going to see a lot of new beginnings coming through, some pretty tough endings, okay? A lot of past issues that have finally come to an end and time to change. There's that Pluto wind again. What is up with this Pluto wind? I mean, come on. Transformation week, right? So much to focus on. So much to focus on. And I've got so many more notes here, but it's like, it's going to take me forever to go through this if I do. But just so many cool things about changing those old habits, okay? The old routines that we have, to be able to really focus on being ourselves. That's something I totally didn't even get to with that here, but that's another part of this Cancer new moon energy for the week, is liberating ourselves, right? Just like getting away from England and starting up the USA. It's time to liberate ourselves from our past restrictions that are too small and keep us tight and reined in and don't let us grow anymore. Time to change it. Time to focus on those specific skills that you are given by God to be in your unique, special life purpose. This new moon it's a chance to throw in all of that energy, all of those old things, that stagnated energy you don't need any longer, and get it to be transformed and transmuted when we have our Cancer and Capricorn full moon in a couple of weeks, when those blessings come through. So tonight I'm going to post a really cool Cancer new moon prayer that I'm going to put up there for all of us to put those intentions in, and how awesome is it that we can keep all of this in mind while we're with our family, watching the fireworks, celebrating our independence on our 240th anniversary of this beautiful country. Thank God that we live in. And the independence that we can do for ourselves, breaking down those old walls and perimeters to let others in and let our real self out, okay? So this week, I've got my little traveling case that I took with me when I did my readings this week in Adrian at the wonderful bookshop. And so I've let them cleanse in the sun and the moon. Everybody, get your stuff out there. Not only get yourself out in that new moon energy tonight, but also get your stones and things out. Keep in mind, like, the moon controls the tides, right? And when they pull out, it's almost that same effect that it has on us. It pulls out those old toxins, those old beliefs, those old systems, really putting it out there, okay? So put your stones in there, and it also pulls, like a tide, pulls out that negative energy that's been accumulating in them. Or if other people have been touching up on your stones and stuff, and you need to get their energy all up off your stuff, also do that too to cleanse it, okay? But you can also utilize the sun. So Okay, so what we're going to do is see who or what energy around us this week is going to be carrying on that 4 energy. And let's see. Wowee. Okay, I feel so much energy here. Okay. They must be happy with this reading. Nope. Yes. Yes. Okay. This stone, ironically enough, is the total opposite, which is weird, but let me figure out why they would say this. This actually represents the father, okay? And I'm talking so much about 4 and mother and the mother energy, which is yin, in the yin and yang cycle of the balance that brings the wholeness. And I guess maybe I focused so heavily. I totally didn't even mention the intuition part of this with the new moon, too. The yin energy, the female, the 4 energy that comes out, really focuses heavily on our intuition, too, our inner connection with ourself and God and the universal energy, okay? And now pulling this stone as the father stone, I'm picking that up as, hey, don't forget me, the yang in that equation. It's very true. You don't want to have too much yin balance, or there's going to be too much emotion and too much giving, okay? We need to balance it with receiving, okay? Or, I'm sorry, I said that backwards. You're going to be receiving too much. With the yin energy, yang, you need to be giving. Okay, yang is energy, it's movement, it's moving forward, it's getting things done. Okay, it's about action. Okay, so I feel like we're pulling that energy into making sure that we bring those 2 in balance, the divine feminine and the divine masculine, bringing them together and making balance come to life. So let's see, let's shuffle these cards 4 times. I'm going to do 4 piles. And then I'm going to shuffle these 4 times for obvious reasons, of course, on this beautiful July 4th. All right, those Pluto winds blowing some change our way. And they certainly are if you're willing to accept it and listen to what your intuition has to say this week. Because this is when it's at its strongest, okay? Especially since Saturn and Neptune. They have a little bit of a situation going on between the 2 of them, but it really heightens our intuition and gets us out of our head and following our intuition and melding the 2 of them together in a wonderful way, too. So what we have here is, isn't that something interesting? Let me tell you why this is interesting. Okay. What we have here is a fire card, okay, that definitely carries that yang energy too. And it's so interesting because I figured, oh, I'm going to have water cards and all this stuff today, but apparently not. They're taking on that you have to balance the 2 together. Okay, so we're talking about 4, right, representing yin. And interestingly enough, when you double that, right, you get 8. 8 representing that masculine, manifesting what you want and making it happen and bringing in that abundance. Now, the 8 fire card is telling us that by doing all of this, okay, in this new moon cycle, working through all of these past things, rebuilding our structures, all of a sudden it's going to free up the gates and the events are going to move at such a fast pace. Okay, the delays are going to be over and everything's going to kind of happen at once. Things that you've been waiting for and building up for and going through all these retrograde cycles this year with, waiting for these changes to happen. This is when it happens. The delays are over. Okay, such awesome energy that goes with that. And let's pull a chakra card with this as well. Okay. So we can really focus on not just that heart center balance that we want to bring with the green, but what else is going to help us in the process of balancing that yin and yang energy to get stuff going. It's balancing the knowing with the doing, right? That's how we get the wheels moving from being stuck in the mud. So let's see. Okay. So, of course, I would draw a heart center card, wouldn't I? The 4th center, of course, for the heart chakra, where the giving and the receiving energy comes through from the universe, is green. It's a green center. And what this card, I think, is encapsulating for all of it this week is that when we balance, like I've been talking about, that yin and yang energy, okay, we lead to growth, okay? It leads to us personally growing and for others growing, our relationships growing, and our foundations being set and so we all can flourish. See, like these roots, right? The roots can be changed and transformed this week, thanks to the liberation that's going on for ourselves, just like the 240th birthday of our country, but also for ourselves and for our families moving forward. Okay, everyone, have a wonderful and safe 4th, and think of it tonight with the new moon and the fireworks at once and the freedom that it will bring you. Have a wonderful week.